Hi everyone, welcome to episode 17. Just before we get started, to let you know, George's microphone went a little bit alien. There was a lot of gremlins in the system, so sound's going to be a little bit weird, but we are really, really excited about what's in this episode, so we're really excited to share with you. Enjoy the show. Safety net. Okay.
Welcome. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Lantyn Labs, the podcast where we make something new using AI every single week.
Every single week. And what weeks they've been.
What weeks have been? What we're going to talk about today?
Oh my God. Well, I know I'm going to tell you about my adventures in the new Gemini. Gemini 3 came out this week and has been mind-blowing. Nano Banana Pro came out this week as well, and that's also been mind-blowing. So basically, like, I'm going to just sort of like try to hold together all the pieces of my brain that I scraped off the floor and be like, and here's the stuff I made.
You've been gassed about Gemini.
I know, and like every time I come up.
Okay, fine. And then I was like, no fair.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to tell you about what I've been building this week, which is really, because the technology has evolved so much, it's products I've made before, but I've been better. One is getting clearer in your goals using AI and generating a photo of you doing that. And second is my dream decoder, but 2.0.
Dream decoder 2.0. I can't wait to hear about that. And I think behind what you just said is like one of my favorite points about AI. It's like if you're making something, if you're building something in AI, if you're using something in AI in your business, at home, whatever, if the next time a better AI comes out and your product is useless, that's a bad idea. Like if it makes your product better, then it's a good idea. Like, there was like, like so many like marketing agencies were like made using like ChatGPT, and I'm like, oh, this can write all your copy for you. And then the next version of ChatGPT came out, and there go 100,000 startups disappeared. So interesting.
Actually, on the other side of that, while we're talking about tips, we discovered someone who was using AI, but she'd used a product, and she said, "Oh, but I've already tried that and it didn't work." But what I see all the time where people trip up is that they use it once and then they never go back.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've just made products and my products have got so much better because the capabilities have changed. Whereas literally a few months ago, I thought I'd reached the edges of their capabilities.
Yeah. Which, I mean, to be fair, you had like 2-3 months ago, like I was going to say 2-3 years ago, but 2-3 months ago, literally like, those things were like essentially out of possibility. And now I love that you can just make them. So I want to hear what you like. I want to hear what you're making. Yeah. Or do we do news like sometimes?
The news though, I guess like every week I think, oh my gosh, I haven't had any time to make something. But then I realised that I'm just making stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Because we are, if anyone hasn't listened, we're really working in the weeds today, AI. I mean, just a quick recap.
So in the weeds.
I interviewed a really interesting guy, the most cited scholar on consciousness, about the future of consciousness and AI, and that was very interesting.
Amazing. Please.
Called Gemma, and we were also talking about brain-computer interfaces, Gemma, when I came home, and it was like, we're talking about if a brain-computer interface, well, first of all, if you can read somebody's thoughts, what does that mean for thought data and who owns it? But then would our thoughts start changing when we know that people can see them, and will our behaviour naturally change? It's really interesting.
I mean, there's so much to unpack there. And I mean, I guess like, what was your takeaway from it? That's probably like what it'd be so much.
Takeaway was, my takeaway was that consciousness is really hard to define.
Yep.
He was asking me what I thought if AIs were going to get conscious, and I said I feel like we've got a lot of other things to deal with. But we anthropomorphize machines. It's the same reason that we look for a smiley face in the plug socket. And there's an evolutionary reason that we do that because we need to know if another being is sentient or not. I personally think we're quite far away from AIs having consciousness, but I think getting clear on what consciousness is and how technology might affect, he's talking about brain-computer interfaces, but afterwards I was reading a lot about just controlling with that brain.
Yeah.
Closer to that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting if suddenly technology can literally see when we're thinking stuff. I mean, it is, we're in the weeds of AI right now, and we work in the creative industries, and that is a bit broader tech.
Yeah.
It's just something that's been sort of percolating.
Yeah. Honestly, like it just, I love that so much. It just made me think like, so. I love the idea that the machines might get conscious one day. But I'm like, does that mean that they're going to like basically be able to make their minds up about stuff? So they'll just be like, you know what? Actually, I don't want to do work because I don't fundamentally agree with it or something. Yeah. But what if like my AI has like an ethical like problem with when I'm like, can you please make me a poster about why cheese is the best? Yeah. And I believe cheese is the best. And the AI is like, bro, cheese is really, really bad for you, and decides not to do what I wanted to do. Like, I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, is this like the most sort of tame version of Terminator ever? But like, what, like, do we want machines to be conscious is the question.
I mean, Mustafa Suleiman says, oh, this is like a small group of like, you know, cult people that are down the rabbit hole talking about AI is becoming conscious. But it's still, the fact that he is even mentioned them, like it is a possibility. It's quite far off.
Yeah.
You know, and right now we're still scrambling just to see like exciting ways that AI is being used. And we know how many we talked to that still aren't utilising it.
Yeah.
So many ways, even it's hard for us to catch up with. But yeah, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years, the idea of AIs having quote unquote biases because they're conscious, not because they're coded that way by humans.
That's what I mean. Like, what if it's stuff like, you know, I was just thinking like maybe that'd be really good. Like, you know, like I was like reading a little while ago that like one of the big sort of tech companies has like put AI in a fridge. Oh, yeah. And I was like, I think it's like a new like LG fridge or a Samsung fridge or something, but it has AI in it. I'm like, why does your fridge need AI? Yeah. But then why does it need AI? Like, what's it going to do? Absolutely bottle. But if it had consciousness and it was like, oh, my, please stop opening me after 11 o'clock. It's going to ruin your sleep cycle. That'd be cool. I'd be like, okay, yeah, fair enough. You're on my side, bro. Or if it's like every time I walk past me, like, those are profiteroles in me, bro. Like, do you not want them? Yeah. And I'll be like, I do want them.
It's actually laundering consciousness because what you're talking about is a fridge that cares about you. Yeah. It cares about what you eat. Yeah. Actually, right now, we could just program the fridge to
mimic care.
Yeah, like, do you remember when I had that thing with someone that I was working with and she kept screwing up with the travel because she didn't care about me and I was going to make the AI pops up a picture of her like kids like every time my like you know it's like
a picture of a kid. I just love that so much. Yeah.
And that was actually on one of the unreleased podcasts that like failed or something. But yeah,
one of the unreleased versions. That's maybe it's a good thing that, you know, like it shows you a picture of your kids.
Yeah, but it was something around. We were basically like, how can I AI engineer her into caring more? Because it wasn't that she's bad with each other, it's that she doesn't care about me. Yeah, and I was like, how can I make her care? Doing that every time she does a good job. I don't know, like send her.
My face turns into a picture of her kid.
I was like, yeah, it's just funny. And actually, I even found myself talking about it when I did a photo shoot this week, and the photographer kept talking really badly about herself, and I was like, we need to build you an AI that every time you talk badly about yourself, it spends your money. And I was like, why are our brains like this?
Oh, I absolutely love that. Like, so it costs you money every time you have a bad thought. Like,
I mean, yeah, to yourself.
That's so good.
And before we move on to products, I had one really interesting fact this week, which I made a video about. Did you know the more you feel like you have to lose, the more scared you are about AI. But in developing countries, China, Brazil, Mexico, they're much more enthusiastic about the possibilities of AI because I guess they feel like they need it more.
Yeah, and they could do so much more with it, right? Like, it's like, this isn't going to replace me. This is going to make me better. I love that way of thinking. Yeah. And like, I think, you know, on the show, we're really big proponents of that. Like, you know, the more you use it, the more you can do the thing that you want to do. And, you know, like, I think for me this week, it's been really about like wrapping my head around like what, so basically give you a little bit of background. All of the AI models, so you have like OpenAI, Claude, Meta's models, and then Gemini from Google. They're all sort of like found like, you know, frontier models, like they're at the very cutting edge. They're super best. And I'm only using the sort of like Western AIs. I'm not even talking about like DeepSeek or any of the other ones because it's very specifically about these that, you know, every single time they sort of like get better, they are almost in competition with each other to like reach another level. And I think, you know, when we were just talking about like consciousness and AGI and stuff, I think, you know, one of the benchmarks was that like Gemini 3 is the closest to AGI so far that you like actually. That's all good.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, so like Gemini is really good at like, you know, it's essentially like it's a brand new style of model because it's multimodal. You can give it stuff. You can ask it to make you stuff. And what I mean when I say stuff is like text, video, coding, like images,
etc.
And for people who don't know what multimodal means,
I mean, it just means like lots of different modes. Yeah, it just means that like you're basically like there's like lots of different modes, right? So like you can basically you can ask Gemini to make you an image. You can ask it to make you a website. You can ask it to make you a video. Like you can ask it to answer your questions. You can ask it to teach you something. All of these really interesting.
Yeah, I was like, your gas, cool. But then when we had that call, didn't we, about the workshop that we were running? And I was like, okay, yeah. And then just today, I was like, oh gosh, I haven't made my product yet. And I had some interest in a product that I made, which is also so interesting. Oh my God, at the Women in Tech thing, I met this girl who her job is making vibe coded products for influencers.
I love that.
And then I messaged her about how she charges for them, because you know, I had that meeting and thought it was buying off me. And you were like, sell it as a product, but she sells her time on a day rate of how many days it takes to make her the vibe. And we're in this whole new era of this and creativity and social media. And it's just like mad.
Honestly, and that's the thing, like, you know, the sort of like the head scratcher for me every week is like, you know, like if you go back to our first season, we talked about like, you know, vibe coding as it's sort of like really complicated thing. I remember like when we first started doing it, like in that season, like, you know, before we started the podcast, you'd have like, you know, a 5-hour rate limit on Replit. So you'd like talk to it for 5 hours, then you'd have to wait for another 5 hours, then you have to wait for another 5 hours in the hope that something might work. And now like we've got to the point where like I said, like I can't wait to tell you about some of the things I made using Gemini 3, because you can talk to it in a normal language. So like the idea of like learning vibe coding now is like, do you know how to ask for what you want?
And it's the Oxford Dictionary word. I'm actually going to put vibe coding more in our SEO.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we say we make things with AI, but now people know what vibe coding is.
Yeah.
We're still so early.
But let's say like, you know, and also like now vibe coding is like, it's you know, one of my favorite things this week is that I wrote a piece on LinkedIn that was like talking about like, is it you know, in the creative industries, the idea of taste trumping AI is like one of the most important things. And like, you know, this is an idea that you like talked about ages ago, and we've like, it's been in the general sort of consciousness of like taste being the thing that a machine can't do. And it's always boggled my mind, because I used to work at like I used to work at Meta, and like they call that A/B split testing. Like you can test thousands of ideas and see which one works. Like Stephen Bartlett does it. Like, so even when people go like, oh, but like taste is like this, like, you know, unknown human thing, I'm like, no, it's very quantifiable, and like you can make the machine like basically sort of like show you what taste is, right? Because like trend forecasting, you know, like the reason why we buy anything, it's all data. What a machine can't do is have vision. Now, a machine can't go, well, what about if I did this? Well, what about if I did this? Like, I think having vision is the sort of like, you know, rather than like taking the linear steps of like what taste is, like vision will get you to something wholly different that you don't expect, right? And this week it really made me go like, if the barrier between me and making anything is just literally my ideas. Like now all I have to do is like, if I've got an idea, I can essentially make it. And honestly, some of the wackadoo ideas I made this week, you're gonna be like, why? What were you thinking when you made that? I'm like, I don't know, I think I might have eaten some macaroni cheese out of the can, and then I thought macaroni cheese, macaroni satellites, and then I made a thing. Like that sort of like really bizarre stuff. So Gemini 3, let me tell you some of the stuff I've made in Gemini 3, because it's quite mind-blowing.
Do you think, I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Do you think Gemini 3 is a real alternative to Replit?
Yeah.
Because that's how I felt this morning.
I think Gemini 3 is the replacement for another like 1,000 AI startups. I think what's going to be really interesting is like what Replit have done so well. Like every single, you know, like when all of the new like coding models came out from Claude and stuff, like they were really good. Like all that did was just make Replit better. Like now, if Replit is working and it has you know, it has like Gemini 3 as its code base and has like all of the other models in it, like it's potentially going to be even better than like, you know, it's a specialized model that can like use Gemini to make stuff, right? I think it's going to be really interesting. I'm really excited to see all these like.
Imagine I was on the train.
Yeah.
I was making an app on the train just now.
Me too this morning. Yeah. Honestly, like it was just like so mad that like, and I was like, the way I was doing it was like basically in between the train stations as it goes in.
Yeah.
Getting like signal and be like, yeah. Honestly, I was just like, this is the maddest life on the planet. Like, how like am I making this stuff? And I'm like going, oh, actually, hold on a minute. Could you make it look in the style of a 1980s arcade machine? And it does it. And I'm like, oh, what? Anyway, right. So let's hit you with like some really interesting products, right? So like, okay, so Gemini 3 comes out last week, and I'm like, okay, I want to make some things that I like wanted to make since for years. Like I've just never understood how to or had the technical capability. First one is you know, like how when you look at clouds, they look like things sometimes. I've always imagined how nice it'd be to sort of like just use my finger to draw clouds in the sky, right? And I thought about this when I was looking at Gemini 3, and I was like, yo, hold on a minute. I wonder if it could like simulate clouds moving across the sky, track the tip of my finger, and then let me draw in the clouds. And I think it took it about 100 seconds, and it did it, and it worked. Like, and I was just like, I cannot believe. Oh my god! Like, it's like all I can imagine is like, imagine like going to an art gallery and the clouds being projected onto the ceiling, and you could just like lie there and like draw in the clouds. Like, that would be the most beautiful thing to. Like, I was just trying. I was just drawing, yeah, sky willies, like, yeah, sky boobs, yeah. Everyone's like, no, no, like I was like, it was insane like what you could do, like, and like fucking animals, like willies, and all sorts of other like fucking things. Like, what else? Like, I feel like that's probably what people do with it. Like, that's why like the Tate isn't going to take it.
No, I know, but I can't imagine it. But hopefully we could put a picture of him.
Yeah. Right here, somewhere in the middle. Yeah. Okay, so that was really interesting. Spent ages like thinking about that and got it made in less than like, fucking 200 seconds. Anyway, the next thing, I'm like, hold on a minute. I'm a really big fan of like, using data and visualizing data, or like bringing data to life in a particular way, right? Like my gut microbiome films and the zombie weather films and etc. Like, really fun. And I was like, hold on a minute. Like, there's a data stream that I found ages ago that was just like basically like air traffic control, but for like satellites that are flying above your head. Like, oh my God, it's another TV satellite. Oh, it's a bunch of like randoms. Anyway, I made a 16 by 16 keyboard. This is all in AI. Like, it's a piece of software. 16 by 16 keyboard. And then you say where you are. And then every time a satellite flies above you, it basically sort of like runs its finger across the keys. So it like starts making really beautiful music. And I was just like sat there and I was like, listen to satellite music. And I was like, no way. I was like, if I had a fixed Twins number right now, I'd definitely be like, mate, we're listening to the satellites, bro.
But okay, but where did you get the API of the satellites?
It was literally a Google search. And there's a free like database for it.
So you put the data and then it reads that. So would you call it agentic? Like, how does it get, like, what's the signal that it gets from the website that you plugged in?
It just like goes like, so I say to it, like, I'm in London, I'm in this particular part of London right here. And it goes, oh, amazing. So it knows my location. And then any sort of like satellites that sort of like pass across that sort of like very small patch of the earth, like where I am, basically sort of like the direction they're traveling in on this like square keyboard, basically just sort of like pushes the buttons, and it like plays a really nice chord every single time it goes across. So it knows where the satellites are, and all it's doing is like going, the satellites become, like I said, like a little finger just running over the keyboard in different directions.
The app open to play it?
Yeah, right now.
And it's just pianos?
It can literally be anything. I obviously did try to make like a jungle version where like it was like, just making like satellite jungle, and I was like, oh my God, if only the Prodigy would like have let me make this for outer space, like it would have been the best thing ever. Like, but unfortunately not. So anyway, that's been really interesting, right? So like two like quite fun, quite art projects.
These are like, I mean, you could take this to many places.
So many places.
Do like a jungle of the traffic going past your house or something.
Absolutely.
Or like as the sky, I guess you get air traffic control, or like the weather,
You know what? Yeah. You know what would be really nice? Like, what if, like, I really like that idea of traffic here, and I wonder if we could like turn the M25, which is a big motorway around London, I wonder if we could turn that into like a way of listening to it. So like, as there's a traffic jam, it gets more hectic.
But also, I guess like traffic is like, even that word is like noted.
Yeah.
But like in satellites, feels quite nice. But I wonder what like data from the Earth.
Yeah.
Could you get like wind chimes every time a flower sprouts or something? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I love that so much. I love that. Yeah.
But what kind of Earth data is there about weather?
Oh my God! Like, I do you remember ages ago I was trying to make the cooking software that would like basically sort of like make the pizza crust, or like change the recipe based on like how the Earth's crust was moving. Like, it was like the Earth's crust like moves every single day, not like by a lot, but like enough by like changing it. And I was like, yo, I wonder if I can make that into like a pizza. Like, the more the Earth moves, the crustier the pizza gets. I never made that, but like I feel like now you could do something like that.
Well, maybe I think you could do it with planets.
Yeah,
you could definitely do, and then I guess with some sophisticated prompting on the back end, you could you could have a melody running all the time, but every single instrument is the movement of a different planet.
Yeah, and like honestly, like when we're thinking about like the complexity of the prompts, like do you remember that, like, and also I've completely forgot to like talk about the how to like learn how to prompt while playing a version of Doom that I shared the other day, which is like, it's so mad. Like, it's like, it's Doom's a really old computer game, and I was thinking, oh, you know what, it's always like such a great challenge for like anyone in AI to like make their own version of Doom and stuff, and loads of people have done it. I was like, imagine if we could do it, but instead of like firing a gun, you have to like answer a prompt question. So like the baddie turns up and goes like, how do you prompt for, you know, a car made out of cheese? And then you have to be like, oh man, you are a blah, blah, blah. Your car's made out of cheese, da, 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 da. And then you push a button, then the baddie dies. So I made one where like you just answer like generic prompting questions. I then made another one that like you'd have to answer prompting questions that made you feel good about yourself. Like
what?
like things like, you know, like things like what are like, you know, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 like anti-anxiety, like get grounding exercises. Like, so like, you know, 5 things you can see, 4 things you can smell, like that sort of stuff. So it'd be like, you know, 5 things you can see, and then like while you're playing the computer game, you have to like type in 5 things you can see. Or like, you know, it would ask you like, what is the find out a way to sort of like calm your nervous system, or like release the tension in your vagus nerve and stuff like that. So you're prompting Gemini on the other side, and then Gemini's giving you the answers to help you feel better.
I don't think enough people are. It's going to sound so like basic to say, but like, and we've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. I guess like making personal development fun. You know,
Absolutely.
at first, I was going to say gamifying personal development, and they are. You know, the world on their wide for hiring like game developers to gamify their app, because actually apparently we're in this era of app fatigue in the wellness space. Interestingly, and we want different ways to like enhance our wellness. But I think there's a difference between gamifying and fun.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of that alarm clock that you thought that you were going to make ages ago. Do you remember the alarm clock?
Tell me about
You can only turn the alarm clock off by saying something nice about yourself.
Oh my god, I'm going to make that today on Gemini 3. Oh my god, that was from ages ago, isn't it?
It's like our third one or something. And you could literally only turn the alarm clock by saying like something like,
yeah. I love myself. Bro, I'm a genius, all right? I'm fine.
And I think what I've really realised this week is that some of the ideas that we had, even though every week we're finding something new, we're making something new, and that's great. But it's also like a good idea is a good idea.
A good idea is a good idea.
And it's like now, just have more of a magic wand.
Honestly, like it's mind blowing. And like the app that I was making this morning, or the thing that I was making this morning on the train on the way here, was I was like testing out. So like so Nano Banana, Google's like AI, absolutely like, you know, one of the best like image AIs on the planet. They brought the new version out, and it's called Nano Banana Pro, and it is mind blowing. Like, you know, it's mind blowing in terms of like how well it adheres to your prompt, or like listens to what you're saying, what you want it to do, and literally everything in between, right? So this morning I was like, I wanted to make a film using it, right? So I've got like, I want to like basically have a set of characters and then show the same set of characters doing different things. Like first they're at home, then they're having dinner, then there's close up of one of them on the phone, then they're outside of Londis, then they're outside of Londis, and the dinosaur comes along and is shoplifting. You know, really sort of like
say that so normally. Then the dinosaur shoplifting, you know.
yeah. So like just like a normal thing, right? Like, because I wanted to see how far, like, you know, the prompted, like how much the AI would listen to me. So I was like, okay, at this point I need an inflatable dinosaur running out of Londis, and it's got like a whole pack of digestives under its arms and stuff. And it did it.
I need a dinosaur right now.
Basic needs. Yeah. Like, look, Masclow said there's a triangle, and this is like my baseline need, But like I was like thinking about on the train, I was like, God, if you know, like sometimes you like just glance at what someone's doing on their phone and stuff. It's like if someone like saw that, they'd be like, the fuck is he doing anyway, right? So as I was doing this, I was like, I'm just like telling this machine what I want, and it's just doing it. That sounds like I used to be a graphic designer when I first left uni, and it was like it was one of my least favorite careers, because essentially you just have someone standing over your shoulder going like, can you move it a little bit this way? Can you just do this a little bit? Can you make that a little bit bigger? And it used to boil my blood, right? And I thought, hold on a minute, I'm doing this to the machine. Why don't I make myself a designer that I can literally talk to, and I can like just have a conversation with it, and I can be like, okay, so why don't we make a poster for blah, blah. Can you move that here a little bit? Can you move that there a little bit?
So design is, I thought that was interesting when you said that you were like, you need to use Gemini because design is where it's, basically it's where I tripped up on making my product.
Yeah.
On Replit, all the design looks the same. It's really difficult. Like, I think I have good taste, but I can't make what I want because I don't have and AI can't do it either.
Yeah.
So you're saying that Gemini is a lot better at design?
Gemini is phenomenal at design. Gemini and Nano together, I'm like, that's what I mean. I'm like, it just basically sort of like keeps making me feel really flabbergasted, because I'm like, what's this going to mean? Like, how is a machine that can build you any website coupled with a machine that can like make any image for you? And you know, we're not even talking about like VO 3.1, which they only just put out as well. So all those three combined, and also if you imagine, Google also put out Genie 2. They didn't share it with everyone, but they said that they have a world-building AI. Like those four things together, like I can't imagine what the end of next year is going to look like. Like this time, like next year, like what are we going to be talking about? Like what would we be doing? Like, are we building worlds for people? Are we building apps? Like, are we building worlds that can build their own apps inside them and stuff? Like, like what is the world going to look like when a machine can do everything? But anyway, I really want to hear about all the stuff that you had built.
No, I feel you about Gemini. I know we've said it loads. We've talked about styling and seeing what you look like in an outfit so much. But just on a very simple, I didn't even think it was really worth talking about. But it's just I can't. With AI, like what you were saying the other day of like, did you write it or you said it to me? You were like, hey, but we've got like a paintbrush that can do maths. Like, why isn't anyone using it?
Yeah.
Like just this week, I had this shoot and I had to like style some outfits, and I was just like visualizing what they look like on Gemini together. It's like I talked about it ages ago on my Instagram, but once again, there's nothing more powerful. It's like the same for interior design and stuff. It's a complete game changer. Design thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Like it feels like also we're not sponsored by them. Like they haven't even got like. I mean, my Gmail's free, but like that's about it. Like but it's like really like it's one of those things that like you're just like, fuck, like who's gonna like come up with something as good as this? Because Sora 2 was great. Like that, and like when you think about like Sora 2 came out like maybe 4 weeks ago, and it was like the talk of the town. It's like, oh my god, the world's gonna change, and I haven't really heard anything more about it, and I don't think it is going to change the world.
Cultural moment, social media, and I'm sure they're still grabbing lots of data to train, I think, but it's not like I don't think it's made it into popular culture. Like I haven't heard any like rappers like spitting about it. Do you know what I mean? It's not like that.
I feel like we now need to like go and make a whole bunch of like rap videos like talking about Geminis. Yeah.
A rap that could teach people how to prompt.
What would you call that?
I don't know. Yeah.
A prompt.
But also the idea of educational music is quite interesting because I went to this.
Oh my god! Yeah. Absolutely, it is. Yeah. Please go because there's like one thing I really want to tell you. Yeah.
Like when I'm feeling something, I like just put my headphones on and like feel angry or sad or whatever. But the idea of music to collectively make you feel hope is interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a movement. I used to be a music journalist and I've really been thinking about that a lot. Like obviously Lizzo kind of got cancelled, but she was body positivity music. And I went to this event, this eco event the other day, and it was all music artists basically singing somehow in a non-cheesy way about how we can change the world, and it made me feel really good. And I've been thinking about music as a tool in that way, and I wonder how we could use music to teach people stuff.
Honestly, I think there's like it's really, really amazing as an idea, like to use music to like help people like unlock different parts of their stuff. Like a little while ago, I made that app that just like played tones. Like I think I like saw this like YouTube video of like, listen to this tone, it's gonna make you feel calm. Listen to this tone, it's gonna make you feel like you've drunk 12 coffees. And I was like, yes, that tone. So it's definitely doable, right? And when you were saying that, it really made me think. One of my film projects this week, I basically made. I was like, educational films are really, really boring. What could I do that would make them interesting? So I made an action film on VO 3.1 that was basically an action film that was teaching me about like quantum entanglement, and it was hilarious. So it was like a heist film. Like all of the dialogue was basically talking about like how quantum particles are like constantly like they're entangled, so no matter where they are in the universe.
I love it. Just speaks to every single industry is getting reimagined. Like if I was in the educational space, it's so exciting the way you can teach
exciting. Stuff. Yeah.
Teach your kids stuff.
Yeah. Like imagine imagine how important like the kids book has been, right? Yeah, that was the OG, bro. That was the OG. Like now you could get an AI to like make the book itself. Yeah. And put you in the film, and then you've already learned about it. You don't even need to learn about it anymore. It's bonkers. It's bonkers.
So my stuff this week was it's both of them have been accidental re-ups of things. So I'm really interested in the personal development and AI space, using the AI to help yourself to help you understand yourself better, and think about if you were talking about what you like to articulate data with AI of like plays and stuff. I like to use emotional data to bring it to life with AI. So I have a dream decoding app that I made ages ago. It's called Dream Capture. My friends use it. It just decodes your dreams. But recently I went on a retreat and I learned a lot more about the Jungian dream analysis, which I have always been interested in. But then I thought, okay. And then I had a crazy dream. And I thought, let me decode this only using not the other stuff. And also I got quite obsessed anyway because I was worried that the dream decoding wasn't completely accurate. And I accidentally made, just through prompting, so it's not super sophisticated, quote unquote, but then there is no creation without prompting. I made it to my brain, my conversation design brain that likes, like, you know, if this then that, but like in a conversational way. So background, I used to be a conversation designer writing chatbots, and it was more like creating games. I made this dream decoder that only uses Jung, but then it presents it to you and it looks like code. So then it's like but basically, and it breaks out every single symbol of your dream, but it, you know, put the little bees around it, and then it relates it to exactly what Jung would decode it as, and then basically it summarizes it really simply in like a really, you just see the computer working, and it's really satisfying.
Amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
And it was a whole new way of doing dream decoding. So I'm quite excited about that. And
when is anyone going to be able to play with it? Is there going to be a link? Am I pointing a link here, yeah, or like here or here?
In the show notes, because it's not even, you know, I toyed around with it for ages and I kind of stumbled on the design thing. I had imposter syndrome. I thought, should I articulate through the pictures, like all of these things? But actually, this in a way has been the most effective, just the text, and it looks quite computery. But because,
which is a technical design term. Yeah. So like what? Yeah,
it's like code actually works. Yeah.
I'm here for that. Like any sort of aesthetic thing that like helps you like get into the thing, I think is amazing. I love that you were able to sort of like take this idea of like the Jungian sort of like lens of looking at your dreams and then mash that together into a thing that like helps you like do that. That's fantastic. And yeah, I mean, like, I think the most important thing is going to be like, how can everyone play with it? Because even I want to play with like the code version of my dream. Why do I keep eating biscuits?
Because the other one, it broke down, it was symbolism, emotions, and action. And this one, it just breaks it. It's so simple. It just breaks it down to a really short sentence, and it feels a bit more digestible somehow. So that was the first thing I made. And the second one was, ages ago, I made a AI that you can talk to, get clear on your goals, and then it visualizes you achieving them. I'm not the only person to do this. You know, I think you've seen that you hugging your inner child has been really popular online. I made an AI that talks to an older me, which they were also doing at MIT. But I got some interest in my creating the product to visualize your goal. And then I thought, okay, I've only made it for me. How can I make this consumer facing for someone to use? And I really leveled it up on Gemini. Yeah.
That's amazing. Like, so what? Tell us what you did. Like, so how do you take an idea that you've already had, and did you build it on Gemini first? Like, how did you transfer it into?
I went completely. I didn't use any of the old prompting. I just spoke to Gemini and I said, and you know, you still have to keep going back and forth in that reference style.
Yeah.
It's still frustrating.
Of course, yeah.
And I haven't finished it, but it is powerful. The only thing I did keep hitting blocks on was the and it was the same when I was just doing my styling. It wouldn't let me put faces in of people, and I'm still like, sometimes it puts my face and sometimes it doesn't. So I do think there's this privacy thing somewhere we're getting a bit caught up on. Whereas ChatGPT, it will always put me in the thing. But Gemini won't. Have you found that?
I haven't like got it to try to replicate me yet. So
but when you were doing your trying on stuff,
no, it was fine. They like like behaved absolutely fine every single time. So I wonder, like, if it's...
and also, you know what it's like. It might have been a bug on the day.
Yeah.
The next day, it's fixed. But definitely with pictures from the internet, when I wanted the outfits, I had to really cut off their head because so it was quite freaky. I had all these outfits I was thinking about buying and wearing, but they're all headless because it's just like, I don't know the data of the thing, which I get. They were getting carrying about.
I mean, I just absolutely loved it. Like, the sort of like, when you said it, the way you said it, it just made me think like, wow, the guillotine, like just like medieval. I'm gonna go medieval on this fashion out. I love that.
But actually, with a bit more thought, I could just make a little automation that's always me and put the clothes on. I was in a rush and I was just trying to literally see what the clothes look like together. So, I just literally, going back to the visualizing you achieving your goal. I just spoke to Gemini and I just went back and forth, and then I just did it on the train and I took a photo of myself.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And it's really powerful when you see yourself achieving your goals.
That's absolutely amazing. Is that going to be something that like people can try?
Yes.
Amazing. Yeah, 2 things out this week. I love that. Yeah.
And what I haven't had time to try, but I am going to talk about next week, is going straight from Claude to N8N. So in this instance, you talk about agents, making agents. And before you had to really learn how to use N8N, which I find quite hard, but now you can do it within Claude. So that's an automation I'm really excited to explore.
Yeah. And tell me, what do you, with N8N, for the people at home, like, what is N8N and why do you, what interests you about it?
What interests me is that, when I talk about customized GPTs, is you are making your own sort of gate fence, ring fence, large language model. N8N allows you to use AIs to go and do stuff for you and then stick them together like an automation. So you could have one automation that goes and reads something for you and then goes onto another website and gets us to generate a video of that. So it's really agentic capabilities, which just puts so much more power.
Yeah. And what do you want to make with it? Like,
you know what? As I said that, maybe I just give it a go. As we're rehashing old ideas, maybe I just give it a go on my reading the newsletters for me and creating an AI avatar of me.
I think that'll be that'll be so good.
Yeah.
Please make a news report of yourself. Like, it will be so good if it's in if it's in a really cool studio as well. Like, that'll be so cool. Like, especially like if it was like Lantyn's HQ or like LLTV.
Because with HeyGen, which is what I was going to connect to with, it always has a background that you're in. Do you think I can put it in a different background?
Of course you can. You could just like upload your face to like VO 3.1. And they'll write it, like, if your automation is like basically scraping data, and then you write a prompt for that data, and then you say like the ingredients inside VO3 is like this character is always a consistent one.
Yeah. And then how would you animate a person within VO3? Because I feel like this was the same thing I got to when I was trying to do my
easy peasy. Yeah, you just like put a picture of your face and then say the dialogue, and then it just does it. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Oh, so that's happened since doing Thoughts on Trial.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Fam, like, that's what I mean. Come on, keep up, bro. It's been 3 minutes since the last time we checked the news. Yeah, like, honestly, it's like, did you see the video I did with like because my test for this thing that I'm telling you was basically what's the name of that film with the big boat, Titanic, where you. Big Boat. That's the like the film Big Boat. Like, just in case we can't use their name. Yeah, Big Boat with like Leonardo and Kate Winslet at the front of it, right? I've basically like, I did a whole load of videos of like them standing in this moment, but all they can talk about is like how much they think I'm really good at like making AI films and how much they like coming to Joy Machine.
I saw the one that you saw us do, Sam Altman.
Yeah, Sam Altman and Diplo talking about like how they want to hire me as a film director. That was Sora.
Now you're telling me that you don't need Sora to do that anymore. You can do it on video.
Yeah. Leonardo's there, Kate Winslet's there, and they're like, wow, this feels as special as the first time we met Omar. I'm like, stop it, you guys. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? So like that's what I mean. Like, you can. Yeah.
Sometimes though, it's really weird. It's like you're like, do this. I don't know why. Sometimes I feel everything like we all do, although I don't feel like you ever do.
What?
I get AI fatigue. Sometimes I'm like, oh no, because I'm doing the admin of life. I'm doing the stuff. I've been traveling loads, and I'm like, I think that I can't be bothered. It's the same time when you start a new challenge. I'm like, oh, I don't know where to start, and then you do it, and it's fun. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I guess sort of in a way, but you're right. Like, I literally, like, for me, I'm like, if I'm awake, I want to make stuff,
which is good, which it like inspires me and stuff. But sometimes I'm like, I've got so many other things to do. I don't know, and it feels tiring sometimes to learn new stuff.
Yeah,
I'm trying to teach people how to do what I was doing 3 months ago. I don't have time to do this.
And you need to keep learning about what they're going to be doing in another 3 months' time. And like, honestly, I think, but for me, it feels like it's. I was describing it to someone the other day, and I was like, it really just feels like I'm in Alibaba's cave, and I'm like, there's treasure everywhere. Like, all it requires from me, all the machine requires from me is ideas. And I fucking love coming up with ideas. Like, my brain just doesn't stop thinking about things. I'm like, so now I can like wake up and I'm like, I think I said to you, like, the only time I felt that with AI recently was like when I saw Gemini 3 and I was like, it can do anything. It can do anything. Fuck, what am I going to do then? If it can make anything I want it to make, like, where do I start?
Can you give, because I think this would be really handy for people watching and listening, if they wanted to make a video of themselves doing something on Gemini, like, what is that and what's the prompt? You upload the selfie.
Yeah, you just upload your selfie and then you just say what you want the selfie to say. Yeah.
You say, hello, nice to meet you.
Yeah. I think like for anyone at home, if they want to make a film and they want to use Gemini, the thing to do is like take a picture of yourself, upload it, type in the phrase "I owe my 20 quid,"
Yeah.
and then publish the video. There you go. Look, sweet. And then, like, you know, I think the PO box is going to be at the bottom of the screen as well. So, like,
and actually, you asked me what I was going to use NAN for, but if I was going to make the service for the photographer that was talking badly about himself the other day, I would use NAN. I would connect it to, I guess I'd connect it to a PayPal or something. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
That's another example of agentic flows it can use.
Yeah. Like, I think that's sort of, like, it's just astounding. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
Pay to be nice to yourself. Like, every time you're mean to yourself, it's like slapping yourself. Do you know what I mean? But
so does it, like, at the end of the month, like, all the money that you spend, like, do you then get that money back? Like, does it, like, sort of, like, you know, like, if I've spent, like, you know, if I've, like, had, like, negative feelings about myself, at the end of the month, like, you know, I've spent, like, fucking 400 quid, like, and I'm like, oh my God, I've spent 400 quid. Like,
I think you need to earn it back.
You need to earn it back by being nice to yourself. Oh my God. So, like, hold on a minute. That I really like, yeah. So, like, the pot is, it keeps filling up every single time you're negative. Like, yeah. And then, like in my head, I'm like, if you then sort of, like, go, like, okay, so imagine that pot accrues up for, like, 3 months. And then you start being really nice to yourself, and at the end, you can just be like, I'm gonna fucking buy myself a nice holiday.
Yeah. I'm not sure where it goes, but it just gets locked, and you can't extract it until you're nice.
I love that so much. I love that so much. I hope someone from Mastercard's watching me, because this is a Mastercard idea for sure.
Is that the end?
I think that's the end. Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us. Being longer down the camera.
Yes, we are, because we definitely don't do that. Okay, bye.